Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles the Bandsman, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. Folks, put on your seatbelt, because this is going to be a bumpy ride. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. My handle is CTABANZ. So let's get into today's topic, y'all. Stephen A. Smith strikes again. Stephen A. Smith strikes again. Everybody got an issue with Stephen A. Smith, man. Everybody got an issue with son, right? And then, of course, he now went what he said yesterday on Lonzo Ball's podcast about LeBron and all of this. I'm sure, and some people I'm sure are going to react to what he had to say here. But earlier this week, we did a show reacting to some comments that Michelle Beadle had to make about Stephen A. Smith in terms of, you know, hoping for his downfall. I mean, we did a show about it, right? We did a show about it. We read through her comments. I'm sure most of you are abreast with what she had to say. And I knew for a fact that Stephen A. Smith was going to react to her comments, because I think Stephen A. Smith loves it. I'm like, I think Stephen A. Smith loves the attention, because anybody with a name that says anything about Stephen A. Smith, he's doing a show about it. I think he loves the attention. That's the one thing I will agree with LeBron. Like, after Stephen A. Smith said what he said, and LeBron went on the Pat McAfee show, he's like, come on, don't act like you don't love the fact that you're getting all this attention. Like, that I do agree with him. But anyway, so I came across this clip here this afternoon. Okay. It was originally sourced from a Awful Announcing article. And it was meant to be a response to Carrie Champion, who, former moderator on First Take, you guys remember Carrie Champion. So as I'm listening to the show, to his response rather, to hear what he said about Carrie Champion, he then said something interesting about Skip Bayless that really got my attention, which was, he said there was no diversity on ESPN First Take until he got there. And I was like, what? So for those of you who never heard these comments, we want to play it for you now, and I'm going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to this, please.
Let me get to somebody I do know. At least I thought I knew. And that's Miss Carrie Champion. Carrie Champion is a person that used to host First Take. Used to work at ESPN. Used to do Sports Nation, stuff like that. Did a pretty damn good job too. And I have to tell you, I was taken aback, and I think the word shocked does apply when it came to this Michelle Beadle brouhaha and seeing Carrie Champion say this about me. Please play cut number 7.
Stephen A. I played that Michelle Beadle clip for one reason and one reason only. I'm old enough to remember being on that show and getting in trouble based on some comments you said about women and whether or not they should know their place when it comes to abuse or non-abuse. Ray Rice comes to mind. Not going to get into the details of all of that. But Beadle just came for you yet again, like she did when I worked at ESPN. I wonder, do you have that same smoke for her that you have for Jasmine Crockett, that you have for Michelle Obama, that you sometimes display for me and Jamel Hill? Do you have that same smoke? I'm sick of it. Keep the same energy. And I call you and I root for you and I say, hey, I got your back. I'm happy for you. But you keep that same energy, sir, for everybody.
You should be ashamed of yourself. You just said, Carrie, you called me, you root for me. Why would you root for somebody that called you out in Jamel Hill, who's your good friend? Because it's never happened. Never. I've shown you nothing but love. What are you talking about? You were hired at First Take in large part because of me. You stayed as long as you stayed and had the support of the people that supported you because of me. Do I need to get bosses to confirm that I'm telling the truth? You know I can. When we see the diverse people that come on First Take, black people, women, the list goes on and on. Who did that? That wasn't happening when Skip was there. That was me. What are you talking about? When have I spoken against you? When have I thrown shade against you? When did that happen? That is a lie. Me, dogging Kerry Champion? When? And if I did it, why did you call me and root for me? What are you sick of? Or did you just want the attention? You see, we're going to have a deeper discussion right here and now because I'm sick of this. And I'm not going to be scared by women that I have loved on for many, many years as a colleague and as a contemporary and watching folks back. It doesn't mean everything that I'm going to do is going to please you. But y'all are talking without facts. We want to talk about, like Michelle Beadle talked about and other people talk. Ask John Skipper. Ask Connor Shell. Ask Norby Williamson. I'm usually not supposed to give out names, but what I'm saying to y'all is, whether it's Dave Roberts, it's a Burke Magnus, it's a Jimmy Pitaro, or anybody else, ask them my support. For numerous people that have walked through the walls of ESPN, including you and Jemele Hill. What are you talking about? I didn't want Jemele Hill to leave. I've been on the air religiously stating she's a miss for us. Highly intelligent, very accomplished, good peoples. What are you talking about? When? Can somebody here please find something that on the record when I'm on the air something talking about Jemele Hill and Kerry Champion? You were at the Tennis Channel. And I brought you over to ESPN. Not just me. Had to get approval. Had to get Skip Bayless support because he was the number one guy. Who you think did it? Who you think did it? I can get into a whole bunch of details that surrounded you not necessarily ending up there. If Skip had his way or somebody else had their way, it was me that stopped that. This marvelous, talented black woman who magnetized towards the camera, had a flavor and a style and a flair about her that I thought would serve the show well. Ask Jamie Horowitz. Ask him. What are you talking about? That's a lie. I have never failed to support you or Jemele Hill. How dare you say that about me? How dare you say that about me? That has never happened. And if I disagreed with stuff, I'd keep it silent. Just like the brothers and sisters were silent about Jussie Smollett. Like Dave Chappelle said, we supported him with our silence because we knew his ass was lying. That's Dave Chappelle, not me. I'm just saying, the point is, I did not do this. What are you sick of? Are you sick of the attention you're not getting? Because you're not on ESPN anymore? I didn't ask you to leave. It was your choice. It's hard, ladies and gentlemen, to sit here and to listen to stuff like this from people who are supposed to be your friends. When you had a meeting wanting to come back to ESPN, who set up the meeting? Who would you call? What are you talking about? Why would you do that? Why do I have to sit up here and come on camera because a person that I thought was my friend would be on camera talking about me like that and didn't even have the decency to give me a call or a heads up? That's low, Kerry. I would never do that to you. And you know it. Never, not in a million years. I've had your back and supported you for years. How could you do that? How could you do that? That's all I'm going to say, Kerry. Because I still love you. That was low. I'm going to let it go this time. That was low. There's no way an even so-called friend is supposed to be blindsided with that kind of video. And you brought up Ray Rice. What kind of thing you think that's going to have on me? You know that's just fodder for people out there to come at me with that nonsense, which you know I was innocent of. Just made a mistake using the wrong word. I've never hit a woman. I've never touched a woman in my life. That's all right. I'm a big boy. I can take it. That stung. But I can take it.
So you heard what Stephen A. Smith had to say. When I heard what Smith said there, I was absolutely floored. Really? Diversity only really started when he got there? Can you remind me? Because I remember watching them old First Take shows going all the way back. Those shows had a lot of diversity on them. A lot of it. Men and women used to contribute to that show. Now, the moderator was a man, but there were... Do you remember a name? Maybe I need to remind y'all of this name. Dana Jacobson. Do y'all remember Dana Jacobson? Now, Jay Crawford was the host, but do you remember her? Do you remember the guy that used to work for, I don't know if he still works for Slam Magazine. He was up there. Do you remember Rob Parker being up there? Do you remember Chris Broussard being up there? Do you remember Jalen Rose being up there? Do you remember Stephen A. Smith being up there? And diversity only started when what? When he got there, bro. Yeah, come on, man. Oh, what? 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 If you mean diversity by just having black women, Carrie Champ, Skip Bayless was there, but even when Skip Bayless left ESPN, I think in I forgot the year, was it 2014 or one of those years? When he went over to FS1 to do the show with Shannon Sharp, a black guy, who was the moderator? Was it not Joy Taylor? Well, I mean, is Joy Taylor like, I don't understand. What color is she? So when he said that, I'm like, you've got to be, and this ain't the first time Stephen A. Smith has said something about his time back in with Skip Bayless, where you remember the back and forth they had like 2 years ago or something, where he said, you know, Skip Bayless was begging him to come to the show to boost the ratings, and Skip Bayless was probably like, you got to be kidding me, like, what are you talking about? So they had this kind of back, but to say that, now I get what Stephen A. Smith is saying. It doesn't take away from the fact that, yes, with Stephen A. Smith on First Take, there is a lot of diversity, and there ain't nobody disputing that. Oh, absolutely. There's no question. He has a lot of female panelists some days, even when he's not there. You'll see an entirely female cast, moderator and analyst. There's no question about that. But to say it wasn't happening when Skip got there is crazy. Now, maybe there are more women. But to say that there was no diversity when Skip got, bro, what? We all used to watch First Take. We all used to watch it. Skip Bayless loves to work with black people. Literally. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, go back to First Take, go back to FS1. Even when Shannon Sharp left, who was on the panel? Everybody on that panel was black. Now he's doing the arena. What? So when Stephen A. Smith said that, man, I was like, you got to be joking. You've got to be joking. Oh, my Lord. Goodness Lord. You guys, let me know what you think about it in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next show. I'm out. Peace.